Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Florida Rise podcast. I'm your host, James Brown, and today I'm here with my guest and longtime friend, Miss Jacqueline Cruz. Jackie, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Good. We have you on here to talk about a topic that's near and dear to your heart, multiple sclerosis, otherwise known as MS. Now, before
Yeah.
we get started, I want to explain. Good, I'm sorry.
Oh, go
Before we
ahead.
get started, before we get started, I want to explain exactly what MS is. Multiple sclerosis is a long-term chronic unpredictable disease of the central nervous system, which consists of the brain, spinal cord, and optic nerves. There's thought to be an autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks the person's healthy tissues. MS can cause symptoms like blurred vision, loss of balance, poor coordination, tremors, bladder dysfunction, slurred speech, problems with memory and concentration, blindness, paralysis, and more. These problems are permanent or they may come and go. So, from that description, Jackie, do you have any of those issues?
Yeah, pretty much all of them. The only one that I haven't really,
Okay.
the only one I really haven't had, I'm kind of being warned that I might is like blindness, because I recently found out that I have a whole bunch of new lesions because I had
Okay.
a bunch of relapses back to back. So,
Mm-hmm.
they're just keeping an eye on the whole eye area. But
So,
all of them I pretty much have. Um,
so does MS mean that you have like lesions all over your brain or all over your body?
Brain and spine.
So you have lesions on your brain and on your spine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Some people
Now
only have them on,
there's. Mhm.
some people only have them on the spine, some people only have them on brain or both.
Mm. Now, how long have you had MS? When were you first
Um,
diagnosed?
we first found out for sure like at the very end of 2018, probably like December.
Okay.
They had to make sure it wasn't other stuff like I guess lupus,
Mm.
yeah, but it ended up being MS.
How did you find out? Well, what were the symptoms that made you say, you know what, I need to go to a doctor, something's wrong?
Well, I've always known I had to always be, I always had to be in the doctors, but I wanted
Okay.
to, break free from that. So I moved, and slowly as I had to work, I realized like there's a lot of weird things happening. Like I could move my hands, like they would like get stuck and just like go flying. My vision was really bad. Like I had depth perception, like so when I would take a step that was really far away. And I was forgetting very important things that I don't see why I would ever forget. And yeah, so those were like the severe things. But then I guess I had a big relapse without knowing I had MS, and vertigo was like, vertigo was just that was bad.
Mm. Speaking of relapses, in my research, I found out that there's actually four different kinds of MS. I thought that it was just, one, but there's actually four different kinds. I don't know if everyone can see that, but you have relapsing remitting MS, which is unpredictable attacks, which may or may not leave permanent deficits, followed by periods of remission. Primary progressive MS, steady increase in disability without attacks. Secondary progress MS, which is initial relapsing, remitting multiple sclerosis that begins to have decline without periods of remission, or progressive relapsing MS, which is a steady decline since onset with superimposed attacks.
I have,
Which version of MS do you have?
I have RRMS
Okay.
for the first one. Yeah, actually recently,
Okay.
uh, which one it was.
Mhm. So it kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, I think my triggers are like stress, like, you know, stress will just bring up a flare up or a relapse, like seems very easily. So
Mhm.
just have to live a
So,
calm.
what does a flare up look like? What happens when you have a flare up?
A flare up is usually like something that I already have like a symptom of, like vertigo.
Mhm,
It'll just come back,
mhm,
like, certain symptoms just come back. Like vertigo, I always remember, and pains, like the certain twitches. I think it's always different depending which of my symptoms decide to make a show.
Now, I remember that you described the symptoms that you had when you were initially diagnosed. What symptoms do you have now? Have they progressed or have gotten new symptoms?
Yeah, I think they progressed. Before it was just like vertigo, and I always had,
Mhm,
because I also have fibromyalgia, but
mhm,
like now it's just like these severe twitching headaches, very, very, very bad balance. Um, like my cognitive skills are just like gone. So
mhm,
just important. I would like to fix that, but my cognitive skills is like a very declined. So
mhm.
everything else is the norm, I guess. Pain and numbness and tingling and all that wonderfulness.
Wow. So, with the issues with balance, does that cause you to use a walker or a cane or wheelchair to get around?
Yeah, I have those. I have lack of room to use them, but you definitely
Mhm,
you have to have a buddy or a cane or a walker just to be on the safe side, because
mhm,
balance is not your friend, you know.
mhm. Now, you don't have to answer this question, but how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I think I was what it
If you
was
don't want to answer it, it's all right.
okay, I'm 21. It's all right. 37. But it was in 2018, so it was like, yeah, it was probably like 37, 38,
Mhm,
like a couple of years ago.
okay.
So, and I'm 40 now. So like two and a
Well,
half.
by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Be 40 forever.
All right. So we'll go with that. So you were 37 or 38. What was that like? What was your reaction
It
when your doctors told you that you had MS?
was like not surprised, but surprised, because I always knew something was
Mhm,
wrong. Your own
mhm,
body, like, something's just not right. And
mhm,
when it was kind of a relief, because I'm like, damn, at least now I know
mhm,
I'm crazy. Somebody, I mean, I
mhm,
was wrong. It wasn't just, oh, you're just depressed. Oh, you have low self-esteem. Like,
mhm,
no, no, there's something wrong. And I finally
mhm,
had a doctor at the time, and he pushed and pushed to do every test manageable, and, I had MS. So it was a relief. No,
mhm.
there's actually, they found something.
Mm. That's so weird because normally when someone's diagnosed with something like that, you normally hear that they're depressed because of it or they're completely devastated or they can't handle it. The fact that you were relieved, that's, I guess, relieving is different.
Yeah,
Um,
I was always sick all the time. I was always weak. I was always
mm,
tired, but I had so much, will to do so much. But I was always,
mhm,
one day I would just be stuck in bed, and I just didn't understand why. So it was
mhm,
finally know that there was something. It wasn't just depression.
mhm.
That part was a relief. And now just
Mhm.
to learn how to
Well,
cope with this.
mhm. Well, have you tried therapy to help you cope with your depression?
I tried it right before the virus, and then I'm more of a in-person type with therapy. I'm not really
Hmm.
like talking about my feelings, personal stuff on a camera with someone
Hmm.
I haven't met yet. Like, so I've
Sure.
done that before, and it's helpful
Mhm.
once
Okay.
once you do it. Like, I would definitely do it.
Okay. Well, I know that dealing with this disease has to be difficult, and I know that at times you need help. Do you get help from anyone? Is there anyone that assists you, helps you to getting around, buying things, or just taking care of yourself in general?
Right now it's just my mom, and
Hmm.
my kids will come around like
Hmm.
that. We're trying to get the MS Society to help, and hopefully they'll help with something. But yeah, right now it's just my mom,
Hmm.
an immediate family that
Okay.
does their thing.
Hmm. Well, are there any things that you're not able to do for yourself anymore because of the MS?
Um, yeah, I feel like I always need a buddy with me. I
Hmm.
I guess what they call me at the place that I go to. I'm a wanderer. So like
Hmm.
I can't really go places by myself. I just get
Hmm.
kind of lost in my own, wherever I am. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I do need a lot of help with all those daily chores and paperwork,
Hmm.
anything that consists of memory. Just to do this meeting, we had to remind me quite a few times, and it's important, but I forget the second that I'm told, and it's just like, I have to keep, refreshing my memory over and over and over.
Well, is there any types of treatment that you're taking to assist you with the MS or the memory issues, or any of the other issues that you have with the MS?
Like I do physical therapy,
Okay.
like we're going to do some speech therapy again.
Hmm.
Like I've taken like some tests, and we try
Hmm.
to find natural like remedies, like memory gummies, which actually were kind of decent,
Hmm.
but you know, after a while, like that, it runs out. You could tell it's not doing
Sure.
the job. But I guess simplifying life is what my goal is. Like I know
Okay.
when things are more simpler around me, I get less stress, and I think I
Hmm.
could is better from what I recall. So you know, that's that's pretty much what I can do right now.
Yeah. I saw that there is a new type of treatment. It's almost like a chemo, where they hook you up to an IV. Is that something that you would be interested in trying, or that you've started trying?
I recently, I think this last like week or week and a half, I just think we just did that, like some
Hmm.
infusions. Yeah, I don't know yet what it did to help, but I guess because of the amount of increase from of lesions, but it's still recent.
Hmm.
Not even like it was actually on my birthday on the 23rd that I
Hmm.
had for like 3 days. So hopefully it does something. I feel something good from it.
Okay. Well, how do you feel during or after those treatments? Like, I know with people that have chemo, they're just completely wiped out in terms of energy, or there's new pain. Do you experience any of that?
I didn't think I would, besides the horrible taste, but
Hmm.
like once it was over, it's like
Hmm.
even today, like I still feel so weird. But I guess it's for something good. but I do
Sure.
tired headache. Like it's such a bad headache, and the taste
Mhm.
of in your mouth is just it's just horrid. But
Mhm.
other than that, you're just drained, and you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I guess I would have
Mm.
to do it again. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess as long as it helps, right?
I hopefully we'll see.
Definitely. Definitely. Now, I see that you said that you needed a buddy to help you get around. What is it? Do you still have a lot of your friends that you used to? Because I know that when people get sick, people tend to abandon them, like their friends, their family.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to always say I had friends because there's so much
Mhm.
to being a friend and just saying you're a friend. But
Mhm.
I know before everybody was busy, even we all
Mhm.
work, everybody was busy.
Mhm.
Expect them to be unbusy to come travel to see, me. The messages
Mhm.
slipped away. Sometimes I find myself fighting to remember to message someone, and I do.
Mhm.
I'm proud of myself, and they'll open
Mhm.
it, and months will go by and they don't reply back. So it's just like,
Mhm.
so I feel like, some people have slipped away, but everyone has a life, and yeah, everybody has life. So whenever they're busy, I'm still here. My number's still the same. And it changes.
Okay. Okay. Now, what is dating like? What is getting out into the dating field like with MS?
That's scary. I like, hopefully he's
Mhm.
like, there's like right before my MS diagnosis, I knew something was wrong, and I was on the verge of having a good friendship relationship, make it work, fight the good fight.
Mhm.
So that was right away that
Mhm.
told me how it's gonna be in a dating world. The person found
Mhm.
out I was sick and I'm single. Like it didn't work out.
Fucked up,
Wow.
man.
It was just like,
Mhm.
very sick. And so that was like a hit, but whatever. I have
Mhm.
things to do. I have to figure out what's, going on with me. And so recently it hasn't really been, I wouldn't consider it dating.
Mhm.
It's just, I'm seeing my doctors.
Well, would you consider dating again or finding new friends again?
Yeah, definitely more the friend thing. Dating thing, I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody has to put up with, you know, somebody has to put up with stuff and love it, not complain
Mhm.
because you have a condition that you didn't ask for, that you didn't ask for. And
Mhm.
I don't want that to be thrown in my face. I think that's a biggest fear, is making you feel like you're to blame for something you didn't ask for.
Mhm.
That's kind of scary. I stick with doctors, and maybe some friends would be nice.
Okay. Now, before your diagnosis, what types of things did you like to do
I loved,
besides making my coquito?
I mean, yeah, I liked cooking and baking, but I really, really, really loved writing. Like, what a world that I would go into. Like, it was just a whole other world. And to know that my own stories that I was reading, and I could just, when you read a book and you're just there, I forget that, oh, my story, and I'm supposed to be editing. So I enjoyed reading
Mm-hmm.
and writing, drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to do some drawing. It's hard,
Okay.
but writing is the thing that I need in my life. But
Okay.
I'm still struggling with it.
We're gonna get you back writing. Trust me. I don't care if I have to be a pain every day, agony, but we're gonna get you back to writing again because you actually have some pretty good stories.
Yeah.
Are any of your stories still? What'd you say?
They're all like on Wattpad, but they're, they all need editing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
when you're finished with editing them, I'm gonna put them up on the. I'm gonna put the link up on the Photo Eye social media pages so that people can go out and read and support your books.
all right, that
All
sounds
right, definitely. Um, I kind of want to go back a little bit. You said that uh, you shouldn't have issues when you have triggers. Um, is your only trigger that you know of stress?
no, like that's I guess also just like doing too much, like, you know, like cleaning and whatnot, like all those regular houseworks. If you get worn out, like I overheat, the heat, oh God, the heat. I try to keep body temperature like 78 and down, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
literally you could feel your brain hot, like, and
Mm-hmm.
I just go outside, even if it's a
Sure.
snowstorm, and because it's just a whole overheating thing, and that can't be the brain. But
Mm-hmm.
so I just doing stuff, but stress is like my main one. It always leads to stress. Like I'll clean and it's fine, but if I get stressed out, you know, you could just feel it coming.
Well, how do you deal with your stress or any of your other triggers? How do you deal with them?
I try to I try to do the things that I used to, like I like to watch stuff, shows and
Mm-hmm.
movies, and I try to do puzzles because I was into puzzles, and it's hard, but I'm doing them. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but so stuff like that. I started drawing. I'll put on some music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the things I would like to do is just go for a walk and nice sceneries, but I can't do that. At least not really, happily by myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, I think that we've spoken earlier, and I know that the MS is difficult, but MS isn't the only ailment that you're dealing with. You're dealing with several others.
Yeah, like
Or
I guess they're all
mm,
autoimmune diseases.
okay,
So I guess the one I didn't even know that was an autoimmune disease was celiac disease. And I've always, I guess, had
okay,
probably, I think I was 24, but we didn't know. I was diagnosed
mm,
the opposite, to do what you're not supposed to do. So I got, pretty
mm,
sick. So I've had that for a while. So, but I finally had to stick with it probably around the same time. When I found out I had MS, they also was
mm,
like, "Oh, you have celiac disease, and if you already know, you have fibromyalgia, and
mm.
I guess the one I don't really know much of is Hughes syndrome, which I'm still trying to learn, but
Okay,
you know,
okay,
I guess I'm good so far. They say, you know,
mm-hmm.
I'm taking care of it with medication, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, those are the main ones that I have.
Okay. So with celiac, just for people that don't know, that means that you're allergic to gluten, correct?
Yeah, among other things,
Okay.
like it's more of it's definitely not a diet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use my toaster and put your nice bread in there that's soft. It'll ruin my
Mm-hmm.
toaster, get sick. And it's pretty much all the same like symptoms that you would have with the MS. It, even triggers depression, your pain. And so it's just like having, three little different MSs with fibro and celiac and MS. Um, it's like you can't have like a lot of the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
From a natural eating thing, you get used
Mm-hmm.
to, and then you appreciate like, food more, real food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that bad.
Mm. Well, what changes have you had to make in your life since you've had this? Whether it be diet, lifestyle, what have you had to change?
I've had to come back to Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
had to realize that working, dancing, a lot of things are not going to be something that I could go out and do for fun. So I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
a homebody anyways, but
Mm-hmm.
I like to be I like to be spontaneous and have one day of like, oh wow, remember we went out dancing even though we don't dance.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not used to, I don't know how I'll be in a public environment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like let's say like a bar, a lounge, like I haven't done it yet, so
Okay. Well, we're going to test that theory. We're going to find out. We're going to take you out to a bar or a lounge or a club or something.
a
We're going to see
comedy.
how you take
And
us to a comedy show too. We'll see how it works out for you.
yeah, at least a comedy club sounds good. A good laugh.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to go to a comedy club and then we're going to a bar right after. Sounds good?
Some
Now,
drink,
what is that?
some gluten-free drinks. They
There you
have
go.
Yellow.
Something that's gluten. What's going on? Yeah, something definitely that's gluten free. Um, one of the this question is something I don't often ask, but it's related to every one of my shows. People often see the ailment or what someone is going through rather than seeing the person. What do you want people to know about Jackie when they see you or when they see this interview?
I mean, I think a big thing that I've been dealing with is like, hopefully somebody understands. I feel like people, I don't want to sound crazy, but I feel like I'm Jacqueline inside of this vessel, like, and I'm trapped in here trying to be, have some intelligence like I used to. I want to do all these things that I used to, and I'm in here, but like the outer shell is like, keeping me in there. But to other people, I feel like I appear the same. So it's just like, I'm still in here. It's just, I think it takes long, other people need to have patience, I guess, to put up with long prolonging a sentence and forgetting what I'm talking about and rambling on and being denied, oh yeah, I'll go out. And then 20 times later, I still say no. And, it's got to be patient. I'm still in here. I guess I'm still in here.
There we go. There we go. What advice would you give to someone that's going through this? That's going through MS, they were just diagnosed, they're not sure what to do. They're not sure if they should go to their doctor.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
Definitely, I think we all are told this, just don't stress. But it's true, just stress. Try to really take it easy. Even if you have to you really shouldn't stress, like try to find a way to calm yourself and get in your thoughts in a calming way and probably avoid, people if you feel like it's going to stress you out. Like, I feel like I should have avoided, certain things because I was still thinking, I'm going to be okay. Like, it's not going to be something life changing. Like, I'm going to go back and get a job or finish my job and, go back to my room. But it happened. So I wish I relaxed more and stayed home, relaxed, instead of taking myself out and about. Definitely should go to your doctors and, do a lot of meditation. Yeah, definitely.
Mhm. Well, your life's not over yet. You still got a lot of life in you. You still have a lot of people that want the best for you. I don't know if you saw the comment that your daughter made. She said that you're the strongest woman that she knows.
Well, I didn't even know that there were comments.
And she said that as her mother, you inspire her every day.
See,
So, yeah, your daughter posted that. Now this is kind of a personal thing. I kind of want to get you back to where you were. Like, I want you to go back to writing. I want you to go out and to try to do things more often. And I know that one of the things that you need is money, of course. And when you have this, it's hard for you to work. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to get a Cash App for you. But if someone wants to send money to you, how can they do it?
I guess I have a Venmo.
Okay. What's the Venmo name?
Like let's see. Don't mind me. I take long to do these things. It's MS, which is just a coincidence, I swear. MS.
Sure.
Writer, WRITER 23.
MS Writer 23.
It used to be Miss Writer, but it was destiny to be MS Writer.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat. So MS WRITER. What is it? What's the rest of it?
23.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I guess Venmo puts at in the front, like at
Okay.
like how Cash App does the money sign first.
Okay. So this is what I'll do. I'm gonna put this in the chat, and we're going to set up a Cash App for you. And we'll find a way. I will be the first one to donate money to it. But we're going to take you out. We're going to get you out to have some fun. Even if we have to kidnap you and bring you to Jersey. Okay? We're going to take you out and we're going to let you live your life and bring the old Jackie back. Because I know the old Jackie. I used to hang around the old Jackie. Again, I used to drink coquito with Jackie. So, Jackie's my writing partner, my writing buddy. So we're definitely we're going to bring you back. All right.
I appreciate it.
Anytime. So can you stick around for a couple of minutes? We're going to talk to my brother Derek right here. My man's Derek, who's also suffering from MS, and we're going to bring you back for Q&A if that's all right. Thanks, Jackie.
No problem.
Next we have our returning guest, Mr. Derek Cooper.
What up?
Derek, how are you, my brother?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, welcome back, man.
How about yourself?
Good. This is like, what, your fourth time coming back?
Who knows? It's all right.
Man, you're a regular at this point.
Oh yeah, it's the norm now. It's just a regular day for me.
Wow. So when you told me that you had, pretty much. I remember when you first told me a couple months ago that you had MS. I was shocked because you would think that someone that has MS looks a certain way or they act a certain way, and I guess you don't have any of the, symptoms or outward symptoms that someone with MS has. How long have you had MS?
I got diagnosed in 2014.
2014. Okay. And I remember we spoke earlier about the 4 types of MS. Which type of MS do you have?
Oh, the same as Jackie, remitting, relapsing.
Okay. And what are the symptoms that you started to experience before, that forced you to go to the doctor?
Okay.
To get checked for MS.
Let's see. So since I was 19, I started feeling like weird symptoms. Like the first one I noticed was I had random night sweats, and I never had those in my life. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, just sweating. I wake up and I'm like in a puddle of sweat. So that was one, but I didn't think about it. Through the years, I started feeling like my legs kept going numb, but I still had motor function. So I could still walk, run, whatever. It's just they were numb. Like I couldn't feel them to the touch. And I
Mhm.
still didn't go to the doctor then because I was stubborn. So I was like, oh, I played football for 10 years. So, it's probably like a herniated disc or something or some mess like that. So I wasn't even putting a lot of stress on it. But what
Mhm.
really made me go to the hospital was not hospital, but go to my doctor about it was I woke up one morning and my left leg
Mhm.
was dead. It felt like every weight in the world was on it. So I'm literally dragging my
Mhm.
leg. I was trying to get to class because I had a final and I fell right there on the
Mhm.
concrete. And so I was like, you
Mhm.
know what? I'm gonna go ahead and schedule something with my doctor.
Mhm.
Um, I will say I'm really thankful for my doctors because they were able to like figure it out. Initially, the doctor's like, maybe I had a herniated disc, but I told him all my other symptoms.
Mhm.
He's like, yeah, I think we got to take you to a neurologist to get an MRI or something. And
Mhm.
when he said that, I did what everybody's not supposed to do. I researched my
Mhm.
symptoms, go on
Good
WebMD,
boy.
go to Mayo
Uh-oh.
Clinic, and I'm like, okay, what
Mhm.
is it? Is it cancer? Lord, don't let it be cancer. Like I was going through. So
Mhm.
I put in all my symptoms, and one thing kept coming up, multiple sclerosis. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, okay. And at this time, I didn't put one and two together, but I was extremely stressed out. I was in my
Okay.
final year of college. My mom, earlier that year, just got diagnosed with ALS. And I
Mhm.
was just trying to finish school. And it was in the middle of the
Mhm.
summer. So, it was hot. So you got stress
Mhm.
and heat. Those are my big triggers. And so I went to the doctor and they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, you got MS. And like Jackie said, I was relieved. I was definitely relieved. I was like, oh, thank God. Because I kept asking the doctor, are you sure it's not
Mhm.
ALS? It's MS, right? Not ALS. He's like, I
Mhm.
promise you, you have MS. I said, okay.
Mhm.
And I was okay with that because I did my research and I
Mhm.
knew MS wasn't a death sentence like ALS is. And so, I
Mhm.
did my research, I got on
Mhm.
meds and basically started slowly changing my lifestyle. So,
Mhm.
took out dairy. One way I handle my stress, and I found this over more recent years, is I listen to a lot of chill hop. I think I told you that. I
Yeah,
listen to a lot
chill
of
hop,
chill
yeah.
hop. Yeah, I listen to a lot of chill hop
Mhm.
and lo-fi hip hop. Think of it like jazz, but
Mhm.
it got a little hip hop beat in the back of it, and it just chills
Mhm.
me out. I'm completely mellow from it. So
Okay.
with all those, it's helped me maintain myself throughout the years.
Okay. Now, once you get let's take me through this. You get diagnosed. Um, you're relieved.
Hmm.
Um, what happens next? Does it get progressively worse? Does everything kind of stay the same with the medication?
The thing is, and
What?
Jackie could probably attest to this, my doctor always told me, you just never know with MS. You don't know what's going to happen next. There's no way to determine if it's going to get worse. There are people whose symptoms stay minimal the rest of their lives, and then there's other people where they progress at random points in life. You just never know. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay. Now, you say that heat is one of your triggers,
Major.
and stress. Are those the only two triggers that you have?
That I know of, yeah. And that I've experienced, yeah. So when I first got diagnosed, I was working out in the summer. So it's like 90 degree weather. And this is in North Carolina. So you know it was ridiculous. And I'm
Yeah.
running, working out outside, letting the sun hit me, getting all the vitamin
Mhm.
D, and my body just couldn't handle it. Like I was
Mhm.
stressed. My body was stressed out. So that's what
Mhm.
made me have my first horrible MS attack.
Is that the worst MS attack that you've ever had?
When it comes to like my limbs, yes. But the second one I had was actually in 2018. Um, Another one, a lot more stress. So that year my mom passed. That was one. And then also one of my closest friends at that job I was working at committed suicide and I found a body. So with all that stress on top of stress, I literally
Mhm.
my body just couldn't handle it. I started losing my vision. I had a new lesion on my optic tract. So basically somewhere around here, and I could actually feel like a headache like coming from it. So I always had a constant headache right here in the back of my head. And I went to the doctor, and for the next 3 weeks, it just kept getting worse and worse. And it was blurred vision, but it was as if it was like static TV. Like how when you can't really get
Mhm.
the full signal, you can't really connect.
Mhm.
it just start looking like real staticky. That's how my vision was getting.
Mhm.
And so I'm like,
Mm.
man, the doctors didn't know what was going to happen. So I took it upon myself to self-medicate the same way Jackie was just medicating. God bless you, Jackie. And so I went on like a hardcore weed. I was smoking weed for a full week straight, 3 times a day. Believe it or not, it
Mhm.
worked.
Mhm.
The next couple of days, I went back to my optic neurologist, and he was like, "Yeah, it's getting
Mhm.
better. It's definitely gonna get better. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get back to normal in 8 days." He was like, "You're really lucky." And it's like, you're really lucky this happened. Like, gotta be careful, this and that. I'm like, I'm doing the best I can. And also, I will put this out
Mhm.
there. I'm not on medication right now.
Mhm.
Part of it is because just a lot of life was happening. I wasn't able to get more medication, but also by choice. Because I
Mhm.
was taking this medication called Abagio, and I had no problems with it, but I looked at all the long-term side effects from it. And I do not want to have to get a liver transplant or get on dialysis later in life. That was my
Mhm.
biggest concern about it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
since that time, I've actually been okay.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll have like some numbness in my foot, but it goes like remitting, relapsing.
Mhm.
So it comes in and it goes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
was
Uh,
bananas.
yeah. I mean, just the ability of just not being able to see or having the blurred
Hmm.
vision. Did you have to have someone kind of take care of you or help you out the entire time that you had that?
Not exactly. One, I'm stubborn. Two,
Okay.
it was bad at the point where it's like, oh, it's really hard to see, but I could still see
Mhm.
if I wore shades and I was driving, I could still see. Even when I was at the office, just regular lights coming from the ceiling were way too bright for me. But as long as I wore shades, I could
Mhm.
still get my work done for the most part.
Wow. Okay. Um, what other changes have you made in your life since being diagnosed?
Uh,
Besides listening to the chip.
just became more aware of my body. Like I
Okay.
listen to everything my body tells me. If I'm feeling this weird ache, it's been persistent for the last 3 days, I'm like, okay, let me see where it's come from. Let
Mhm.
me relax for a little bit. But if it keeps getting worse, I'll go to my doctor in a heartbeat. Because I feel like with
Okay.
MS, you got to stay alert 24/7 with your body. So you can't never let anything just
Mhm.
pass by unless it's a common symptom you've had over and over again. If it's something new, like say
Mhm.
a while ago, my right shoulder went out. It was just like, man,
Mhm.
I couldn't really pick up my arm. And it was because I
Mhm.
had a new lesion on my spinal cord.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was getting
Wow.
like
Do you,
compressed with like the herniated disc in my neck. And it was a
mm.
lot of craziness.
So do you have a lot of lesions from MS?
A decent amount in my brain. I think only like 2 or 3 on my spine.
Is there any way to reverse the lesions or stop them?
Uh,
No.
Medications has been proven to help, but there's no cure for it. The best thing you can do is just manage your symptoms the best you can. And
Okay.
if your medication starts working, just talk to your doctor.
Okay. Okay. Now, what advice would you give to someone that's going through this, that has MS? I know I asked Jackie the same question, but you may have a different perspective.
Oh, well, of course, like Jackie said, no stress, but I say stay
Mhm.
positive.
Mhm.
I know it's cliche, but I promise you, staying positive helps your body out so much. Keeping like a strong mind and just being like, you know what, this is happening right now, but I promise I'm gonna be okay. I know I'm gonna be okay.
Mhm.
Just having that
Mhm.
mindset helps you out so much.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Well, Derek, thank you once again.
Oh, thank you, good sir.
um, thank you. Jackie,
Yes.
hey. All right. Yeah, I have one more. I have one more question for you, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. Um, there was a question that I asked Derek about what his worst day, what his worst symptom was. Um, what was the worst day for you in terms of symptoms?
Um, I guess I always go back to when when my first huge relapse. I mean, even though I didn't know I had MS, but now knowing that was a relapse, that was like I was I had vertigo, severe vertigo for over 2 weeks straight, nonstop, the whole world spinning. And oh God, like I mean, every day I have vertigo, but that was like, being in a spinning world and I couldn't move. And I think that was my worst relapse. That was
Okay.
sucked.
Okay. All right. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it up to Q&A. I know normally we last a lot longer with the interviews, but I also know that things like this can tire you, and I don't want to trigger you in any way. So we won't stay on too long today. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up for questions or comments for those of you that are new, which I don't believe that we have anyone on here that's new. If you have a question or comment, you can do the hand raise option. If you're unaware of how to do that, you can press the 3 dots on the top or bottom of your screen that say more. Once you hit those 3 dots, there should be an option there to raise hands. If that doesn't work, you can type your question in the chat. And if all else fails, take yourself off mute and we will recognize you if you have a question. So is anyone first? Or should I go to the ones that were texted to me? I'm sorry, Derek or Jackie. Derek, sorry to have to throw you out there. 1 second. Hang on. All right. Oh, it's so quiet today. All right. Normally there'd be a lot more questions. All right. How does the weed make you feel in terms of your pain?
I can answer that.
I mean, if you ask people,
like
it helps.
It helps because it's not just about pain. Pain is pain. I've had fibromyalgia already. I given birth. I've had spinal taps. I've broken bones. It's just like the weed helps just to deal with everything. Kind of just makes you feel more positive and takes away that hint of sadness and gives you a huge stepping stone to just start get yourself focused. And usually, like when I medicate, I know to be in pain and stuff, but I start cleaning. I'll get some puzzle pieces done. I try to draw something, try to do some craft stuff, pay attention to the cat, try to. So it definitely helps. And yeah, so it's more than just what pain for me.
Okay. Are you aware that they just legalized it in New Jersey?
Yeah. So if I'm ever there, I don't have to worry about the popo.
I told you we're gonna come and get you. We're gonna. What'd you say?
I heard they were gonna legalize it, so that's good. It's not traditionally over here in Connecticut, but just the regular doctor way.
Okay. Well, are you opposed to having a party next year for your birthday? Just to celebrate life, have fun again.
I'm with it if it actually happens.
Okay.
At the point where, yeah, sure, but I don't really have any certainty that it's gonna happen or anything,
Okay.
But I look forward to it, and I'll put my energy into it.
Derek, will you help me with her party?
Definitely.
Hey, dude, she makes coquito.
And I do love coquito. I love me some coquito.
All right. Well, it looks like nobody else got a question today, so I won't hold you too long. And I know, especially, you probably have to get some rest, and I know you have a million things to do today. So, Jackie and Derek, I really appreciate y'all for coming on. It's a Saturday. That could have been anywhere else in the world. You could have been doing something else. The weather's been decent. So for those that aren't in the Northeast, the weather was about 48 degrees. And considering what we've had over the past month, that's great weather.
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of the snow, yeah, a lot of snow is melting. So that's definitely a plus. So before we go, if there's anyone that hasn't liked to subscribe to the Fall to Rise podcast, please do. If you go on YouTube, type in Fall to Rise podcast. You can also go on the Instagram and Facebook pages, Fall to Rise podcast. We have we have all of our older episodes as well as a lot of exclusive content that's coming up. And you can check me out on the other show that I'm on, which is the Extreme Truth Podcast. 1 second. We actually have an episode coming up on Monday where we're actually going to pay tribute to Michael Jackson.
Oh wow.
It's, I think, a fitting one to end Black History Month. For me, it's also a passion project because I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. Michael Jackson is my favorite artist of all time. So again, for me, it's a passion project. But Michael Jackson has also done a lot of things, not just musically, but in terms of being an activist, in terms of a lot of things behind the scenes that he's done to have really helped not just the world, but also the Black community. So we're definitely going to bring that up this Monday. For those of you that have not seen the Extreme Truth Podcast, viewers' discretion is advised. Definitely, you might not want to have the kiddies in the room for some of the things in that episode, but it's a really good episode that we have a lot of fun with. 1 second. All right. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. So this is actually the flyer for Monday's podcast. It's going to be Monday, March 1st at 8 p.m. You can screenshot it, or the Zoom ID is 806-930-0961. All right. Jackie, Derek, do you have any final comments?
No, just send me that so I can share it.
Sure. We'll try to get you on there on Monday.
All right.
Derek, any final comments?
Oh, the only thing I'm gonna say is everybody keep your heads up, stay positive, and don't worry, you'll get through whatever you're going through.
Definitely. Well, thank you too, and thank you all for tuning in. See y'all next week.
Thank you.